4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, someone inside the Pentagon leaked a classified assessment to the Washington Post. The document is marked top secret and dated March 9th, one day before Khamenei's speech. The assessment concludes that the current military campaign has achieved tactical success in destroying Iranian infrastructure, but has failed to achieve any strategic objective. It states that Iran retains the ability to strike American forces indefinitely, that Iranian missile production has not been significantly degraded, and that Iran's nuclear facilities in deep underground bunkers remain intact despite repeated strikes. The assessment goes further. It says that achieving total military victory would require a ground invasion force of at least 200,000 troops.
And I want to stop right there. This is breaking news, and hear me out, because some of y'all are going to be like, what are you talking about? This did not happen. This is not happening. This is happening behind the scenes. All right. So 1, hit the like button. 2, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. I want to start off by talking about this ground invasion situation that a lot of people are speculating about. And due to my research, because I had to do a lot of research because, you know, this isn't necessarily my field, but due to my research, this is what I found. There will be no ground troops going anywhere, especially into Iran. Here's the reason why. Iraq, which is the neighbor of Iran, told America that they cannot stage ground troops in their country. See, here's what a lot of people fail to tell you. In order to properly plan a ground invasion, you know, invasion of another country, because that's literally what it is, you have to first stage in the neighboring country. But that neighboring country has to, 1, be responsible for protecting you, because there's no, it's only ground troops, so they can get, something just dropped on them. So to protect them, so they have to be responsible for all these troops. And then 2, they have to look at the neighboring country like, oh, okay, so you with them? This what we doing? We neighbors, but you finna, okay, I got you. So now you're gonna have issues with the neighboring country, and you're their neighbor, all right? So in order to stage in a neighboring country, first, let me explain what staging is for those who may not know. And everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Staging is having a significant part of land in that neighboring country to park military vehicles, tanks, fuel trucks, house at least 200,000 troops. 200,000. Have you ever seen 200,000 people? Like when you think about an apartment complex. Apartment complex might be like 300. We're talking about 200,000 people being in one like closed area. All right, that's a lot. Places for them to meet and strategize, because they had to set up makeshift bunkers, places to train, places to eat, places to sleep, and a safe area for equipment planes to come in and out to bring them more equipment. Without this, there is no way America can deploy ground troops. And guess what? The only way America can even come close to winning, because this wouldn't be a win, but if they do this, they can actually possibly win this war against Iran, because this is the only way. And they can't even do this. So for anybody who's thinking like, oh, America, we're so powerful and we're just gonna just knock them off the map. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. You can't just knock somebody off the map unless nuclear bombs are in play. And if we start throwing out the word nuclear to anywhere, they all got nuclear something too. So, and I'm talking about Russia, so Korea. So nobody is doing anything nuclear, because everybody would just start going crazy. Okay. So the only way you can knock a country off the map is with nuclear bombs, and nobody's going to do that. So without that, you can't knock anybody off the damn map. All right. I know y'all think America is this superpower. They aren't. And that's the reason why we're having this conversation. So keep that in mind. There will be no ground troops going into Iran. And if they're stupid enough to try to put ground troops out there, it's not going to be enough to do anything. It has to be at least 200,000 because the country is huge. And I think they're like 3 times bigger than Iraq. And we spent like what, a decade in Iraq? And then you expect less than the amount of ground troops that went in Iraq to invade a country that is 3 times as big? No, it's just stupid. It's stupid. All right. So let's keep going. So I just want y'all to understand, because I'm learning a lot about this, and I'm learning pretty fast. It's a lot, but I'm learning pretty fast. Right,
that Iranian missile production has not been significantly degraded, and that Iran's nuclear facilities in deep underground bunkers remain intact despite repeated strikes. The assessment goes further. It says that achieving total military victory would require a ground invasion force of at least 200,000 troops, sustained over 18 months at a cost of $3 trillion and an estimated 15,000 American casualties.
At an estimated 15,000 American casualties. That's a projection. Just imagine somebody just projecting that you're going to be dead if something happens. Wait, what? We project that this amount of you are going to be dead. Huh? Like, that's literally what they're saying. Out of 200,000 people, 15,000 of y'all are going to be dead. Are you crazy?
Conclusion of the document is devastating. It recommends that the administration seek a negotiated settlement within the next 2 weeks before Iran's position strengthens further. Pause. That document was written before Khamenei made his demands public. The Pentagon already knew this war was unwinnable. Now Iran has put terms on the table that make any American victory claim impossible. According to leaks from sources inside the National Security Council,
Now, what she's about to articulate is the demands that Iran has for America. And the demands are to get the hell out of the Middle East. No ships in the water, no bases on the ground, no nothing. They might even restrict people from going out there to visit from America. If you're American, you cannot be in the Middle East. Possibly if you're just a tourist. But other than that, no military personnel anywhere near the Middle East. And that is one of their demands. And if not, they're going to keep bombing. And we already know thus far that they have way more technology, way more bombs, missiles, better bombs. They got the cluster bombs that come out and just now it's 20 bombs instead of 1, and you can't stop it. And we're out of almost everything, actually.
Emergency meeting took place at 1 a.m. this morning. The participants included the president, the vice president, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General C.Q. Brown. The topic.
And let me know if y'all have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. If you like, because a lot of people in my audience, we're not extremely efficient with all this military stuff and all this other stuff. But I've done a lot of research. So if you have any questions, let me know in the chat, because I'm here to kind of catch y'all up, because I'm catching up myself. And this is really interesting. All this stuff that I'm learning is really interesting. I'm loving this. And I'm not loving this because a lot of people have died in America and in Iran and in other countries. But so I'm not just loving it like that, but I'm loving learning. I like learning new things.
Was simple. How do we respond to Iran without looking like we are surrendering and without starting a war we cannot win? We have learned from multiple sources familiar with the discussion that the meeting became heated. Secretary Rubio argued for immediate rejection of Iran's demands and a massive escalation of airstrikes to force Iran back to the table. Secretary Hegseth reportedly pushed back hard. He pointed to the leaked Pentagon assessment and said the military does not have the resources to sustain a prolonged campaign while maintaining commitments in Europe and Asia. National Security Advisor Waltz.
Not without ground troops. That's the key. They cannot put boots on the ground. And without boots on the ground, it is impossible to overthrow that country. Impossible. There's no way at all without ground troops.
Raised the China problem. If the United States rejects negotiations and China openly backs Iran with weapons or financial support, the entire...
And then you got China might come in next. We don't have nobody to back us up. But they got China that could come in next and back them and start supplying them with more weapons.
Strategic balance in the Middle East shifts permanently. General Brown made the situation worse. He told the room that if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, the United States has two options: accept it or go to war to reopen it.
And guess what? The Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Strait of Hormuz is closed right now. Let me show y'all exactly what's going on and how quiet it is right. Let's see what is going on in a Strait of Hormuz. What is it going? What's happening? All right, here we go. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me drop this for a second. I want to show you guys what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz. I got it. I'll do it again. For whatever reason, I got to do it twice. Okay. Now, put a one in the chat. You can see my screen. I'll put it like this. All right. Okay. So, put a one in the chat. Y'all can see my screen now. So, this is the Strait of Hormuz. All right. And it is closed. It is nothing going through the Strait of Hormuz. And let me know if y'all have any questions. Y'all see I've been doing my research. So this is the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is firmly entrenched under the new supreme leader's direct order, creating the largest oil supply shock in history and entire world. I want y'all to think about that. The world, global, the entire world is going through something right now because of Donald Trump's stupid, dumb ass. With military analysts warning that a forcible reopening could require on Iranian coastline. And like I said, a ground assault will literally be the S word, jumping off a building. That's the S word. I don't want to say the word. So a forcible reopening could require a high casualty. Everybody's dying. All right. So to go a little farther than that, an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson states Iran does not seek to make the Strait of Hormuz scare the shit out of everybody. They don't mean to keep blowing up tankers, which they actually are, with mines, and they have some little drone ships that are just like little baby ships and their own ships, along with water mines, just all in the Strait of Hormuz. But insists that ships must coordinate with the Iranian Navy when passing through. Well, here, and if you come through here, they aren't allowing anybody to go through. Nobody, not one person. Well, one person, yes, that is China. So China is still allowed to go through the Strait of Hormuz, but nobody else. All right, so let me stop sharing and let's get back to this. And that is an example of what is happening. It is not just a fight with America and America is going to win versus this person versus that person. It's way bigger than that.
Or to reopen it means striking Iranian coastal defenses, which means hitting Russian-made S.
So listen right here. So when we get to fighting, because y'all think America can just blow shit up and everybody's scared of us, I want y'all to think about this part right here. Everybody is using everybody else's weapons. And if you go blow, like if I give somebody a tank, right, and you go blowing up my friend's tank and my logo is on the side of it, you now just went to war with me because that's my tank that I just let them borrow. So now I'm at war with you. So you can't just be going to war with people, especially when other people are working with other people. So it's not that easy with America, just blow everybody up. That's not how it works.
In Europe and Asia, National Security Advisor Waltz raised the China problem. If the United States rejects negotiations and China openly backs Iran with weapons or financial support, the entire strategic balance in the Middle East shifts permanently.
The entire balance. That means everybody's the ops now. Everybody in the Middle East hates America now. Like, we have to work with these people. We get oil from these people also. We have our own oil, especially after we invaded Venezuela, but we have to work with these damn people. Because it's not just about oil, and oil is not just about gas. It's about microchips, all kinds of shit.
Brown made the situation worse. He told the room that if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, the United States has two options: accept it or go to war to reopen it. Going to war to reopen it means striking Iranian coastal defenses, which means hitting Russian-made S-400 missile systems, which...
See? If you start acting crazy, you're going to go to war with another country because everybody is using everybody else's stuff.
Which means the possibility of Russian casualties, which means the risk of direct confrontation with a nuclear power. The president asked one question: can we win this without putting American boots on the ground in Iran?
No.
General Brown's answer, according to three people in the room, was no. Not if Iran has external support from China and Russia. Not if they are willing to accept economic collapse in exchange for resistance. Not if their nuclear program is further along than intelligence assessments predicted. The decision was made to delay any public response for at least 48 hours while back-channel negotiations through Switzerland explore whether Iran's demands are an opening position or a final ultimatum. The legal ramifications are significant. International law experts at Georgetown and Harvard have already...
Now listen to this. This is very important. There's legal ramifications. See, this is like law. See, we have American law, but there's like a law amongst all of these countries. So there's like a global law, just like you getting pulled over by a police officer. They have a global law. So listen to this. What we're doing is against the law because Donald Trump is a freaking idiot.
Preliminary analyses. They point out that Iran's demand for reparations has precedent in international arbitration. The demand for sanctions relief is consistent with positions taken by the United Nations Security Council in previous negotiations. The demand for American troop withdrawal is framed as restoration of sovereignty, which has support in international law. If this goes to the International Court of Justice or the UN Security Council, Iran has a case that will receive support from a majority of non-aligned nations. This is
because Iran didn't do anything wrong. Iran has the right to defend themselves. Like, we wasn't supposed to do what we did in Venezuela. But, you know, they be like, all right, bro, like, chill. That's kind of like when you get pulled over and then, you know, they let you off with a warning. Like, all right, bro, like, stop. And then you want to do this again? Like, you won't get, you know, I don't know, you don't get locked up, but I don't know what happens with their law, but you can't do this shit. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. To the new people who just came in, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at.
Council. Iran has a case that will receive support from a majority of non-aligned nations. This is not just a military crisis. It is a legal and diplomatic crisis where Iran has prepared the ground carefully. Here is the domino effect we are looking at. If the United States agrees to negotiate, regional allies lose faith in American security guarantees. Saudi Arabia starts making deals with Iran. Israel feels abandoned and takes independent military action. American credibility collapses across the Middle East. But if the United States refuses to negotiate, oil prices continue rising. The global economy slides into recession. European allies who depend on Middle Eastern energy supplies pressure Washington to accept a ceasefire. Congress refuses to authorize a ground war. The administration is trapped between humiliation and catastrophe.
We are not stuck between humiliation and catastrophe because we had no business doing this mess in the first place. Like, I did a whole deep dive in the last 10 years of all of this. And we all, you know, whether you're a novice or whether you're like, you know, about politics, you'll know that we never had any business going over it in the Middle East in the first place. You know, all this war on terror, it's always been a lie. Always. All these dumbass presidents. Because the thing about it is, it wasn't or isn't just Donald Trump. It was Bush, it was Clinton, it was Obama. All these stupid ass presidents keep trying to make it look like these guys that don't speak English, that be like, we be like, oh, get him, he's bad. Just because he doesn't speak English? And they've been manipulating us into thinking these people who don't speak English are terrorists. You know, I don't want to say the word. You know, this war on terror. Oh, they're going to come over here and do all this other stuff. 9/12, and I'm saying 9/12 on purpose, 9/12 was done by IHOP. They choreographed the shit. The damn building just like imploded. That wasn't no damn plane. So they keep doing shit to scare the hell out of us, to make us think that Iran or all these other people are after us. They can't even get over here. Just like now, they're literally talking about how California is going to be up under attack and they're going to do something to California. Do you realize how far Iran is from California? Do you realize how far I am from California? I can't attack California, let alone a damn Iran. Nobody can attack They way the hell over there. It takes me 4.5 hours to go to California. Me. So do you think a missile can be shot all the way to hell from Iran to get to California? They're just making up shit. So they keep trying to make us think that they are the ops, they are something, and to make us scared So when we go to war with them, we like, yeah, get them. And it's been working. Somebody says sleeper cells. We got sleeper cells over there. We got military bases over there. Forget about sleeper cells. We have awake cells. We have whole bases over there with missiles and all kinds of shit. So I want to hear this sleeper cell shit because we got awake cells over there. So they blow some shit up over here. We blow some shit over there. Come on, man. We got to wake up. When the last time you've heard of a damn sleeper cells? Just right now, name a time where a sleeper cell actually did some shit. I'll wait. Can anybody explain a time in your entire life where, oh, the sleeper cells just did? Name a time. Name a time. Name a time that it was not an American that blew up some shit and blame it on them. I'm waiting. Can somebody please tell me where these sleeper cells did some shit in your entire lifetime? Hello? That's my point. It be some white dude, European white dude that goes shoot up some shit. That's the only time anything has ever happened on American soil. It'd be some white dude or some white kid. Not black dude, not Iranian, not Islamian. It was always some white dude or some white kid that tore up some shit. So we can move on because we gotta wake up, man. It's always these idiots trying to brainwash us into hating somebody else, and they ain't do nothing.
China is watching this very closely. Beijing sees an opportunity to position itself as the broker of Middle East peace. If China can negotiate a settlement that the United States cannot, it demonstrates to the entire world that American power is no longer decisive. Russia is calculating its own advantages. Every American asset committed to the Middle East is an asset not available for Europe or Asia. A prolonged conflict in Iran serves Russian interests perfectly. A desperate United States can be pressured into concessions on Ukraine or NATO expansion.
And I want to say this. If you are proud of me for doing all this research and I'm slowly becoming very articulate and understanding of like global politics, drop a cash app, drop a super chat. You don't have to, but if you're proud of how much work I've done within the last 2 weeks, drop a cash app, drop a super chat. Cash app is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. $ AARON 1000, or the link is in the chat. Just look at the blue link, you'll see it. Drop a super chat, drop a cash app, because I'm proud of myself. I know so much that I didn't know 2 weeks ago. Is absolutely crazy, and I absolutely love it. I'm proud of myself. But if you're proud of me, let me know. Let me know that you love me. Let me know that you're proud of me, because we gotta support each other. We gotta let each other know that, yo, I'm proud of you. You know, grown people saying they're proud of other grown people. You know, kids, yeah, you can say all that, but we need to start telling adults that, you know what, I see you. I'm proud of what the work you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit.
Are America's traditional allies. Britain issued a carefully worded statement calling for de-escalation and dialogue. France said the situation requires immediate diplomatic engagement. Germany warned of catastrophic economic consequences if the conflict continues. None of them.
See, Germany is going to take the biggest hit. Somebody said, what's a sleeper cell? A sleeper cell, from a non-official definition, a person or group of people that come over here from another country and act like they're normal citizens and they get jobs and probably even get a family or whatever. And whenever they get the call, hey, it's time. And you're like, oh shit, it's time. And then they, you know, do some shit. And then next thing you know, blah, boom, you know, that's a sleeper cell. A person that kind of like is here acting like they are our friends.
Backed the American position unconditionally. Why? Because they see the same intelligence assessments. They know this war has no military solution. They are protecting their own interests. They are distancing themselves from an American policy that looks increasingly reckless. The economic damage from this war is now measurable in every American's wallet. Political pressure is building fast. So where are we right now? Mojtaba Khamenei has delivered an ultimatum to the United States. Withdraw, lift sanctions, and pay reparations, or face closure of the Strait of Hormuz, Chinese and Russian military support for Iran, and an Iranian nuclear weapon. The Pentagon has concluded the war is unwinnable without a massive ground invasion. The president has gone silent. Oil is at $121. The global economy is pricing in disaster.
Oil went up. Gas prices went up again yesterday. When I was on the way home, I was like, golly, like a week ago, it was all good a week ago. Y'all remember that Jay-Z song? It was all good just a week ago. Just a week ago, gas prices here was like $2.10 or something. Now here they're $3.80. All in a week.
China and Russia are backing Iran. European allies are hedging. And the clock is ticking on a 30-day deadline that the administration has no strategy to address. He wanted to project strength. He ended up.
Now, all of this is contingent on a 30-day deadline. I want y'all to think about how crazy that is. They're giving the United States 30 days to pull out of the whole Middle East. For those who just came in, Iran just gave America 30 days to completely pull out of all the Middle East. No bases, no ships in the water, no nothing. Get your socks, get your shoes, get your cologne from in the main bathroom, get your toothbrush, get all your shit and get out. Get everything and take it and go back to where you came from. Nothing stays in the Middle East. That is literally what they're saying. No tanks, no nothing. Everything leaves the Middle East. Leave us the hell alone.
Revealing weakness. Reality has a way of asserting itself. The reality is that killing one leader did not end the Iranian government. It created a more radical successor. The reality is that airstrikes did not break Iran's will. They hardened it.
And I want y'all to think about something. America or Trump is so freaking stupid where he actually thought he was going to take out the supreme leader and everything is going to go perfect and everybody's going, oh, okay, America, we give up. Where in the world does that actually happen at? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever watched a football game where the other team knocks out the quarterback and the quarterback is injured and then the backup quarterback comes in and still wins the damn game. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever witnessed that, because that's literally what's happening right now. Trump is so damn stupid where he doesn't think that the supreme leader has a backup supreme leader. Like, what are we doing? Whether it's basketball, football, whatever, if the star gets knocked out and they're injured, the backup can easily come in and win the damn game for the damn star. What kind of shit is that? But Trump is an idiot. This is just stupid, man. Knock out the supreme leader thinking you just waltz in a whole damn country. Are you dumb?
Are backing Iran. European allies are hedging, and the clock is ticking on a 30-day deadline that the administration has no strategy to address. He wanted to project strength. He ended up revealing weakness. Reality has a way of asserting itself. The reality is that killing one leader did not end the Iranian government. It created a more radical successor. The reality is that airstrikes did not break Iran's will. They hardened it. The reality
Yep.
is that American military power, as vast as it is, cannot solve every problem. Some conflicts have no military solution. As we
Quick commercial break. Quick commercial break. Quick commercial break. Be right back.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
And if you want to win the battle in your household, make sure to get your mother-daughter card game. They are selling like hotcakes. And I got 1,000. I ordered 1,000. I'm not saying I sold out 1,000. I haven't, but they are going fast. So get your mother-daughter card game. There are 2 decks in one game. One card deck for your mother and one card deck for the daughter. So both of you can be on even playing fields, kind of like with Iran and America. Because what Iran actually wants, the same thing as your daughter in Iran feels the same way. Iran feels like you're trying to little bro me. And even though you're bigger than me, even though you're stronger than me, you know, talking to the mother, I want to be treated as an equal. I want to have a voice just like you. So I'm sick of you talking down to me, making me feel like I don't have a voice in this household, and I'm sick of it. And that's literally what Iran is doing. Iran is tired of America little broing them. And America is like, yo, you do what I say and you sit down and you shut up. And Iran is like, no, I live here too and I have a voice. And your daughter has a voice also. So I need you as a mom to stop thinking that your daughter does not have a voice. So buy this card game, whether you're the daughter or whether you're the mother, so you can finally have a voice and put yourself in a position where you now have an equal playing field and you can see your mother or your daughter in some type of way as an equal, at least for a good 30 minutes to an hour playing a game. Because that's what we have to do. We have to remove the stereotypes. We have to remove the identities of I'm your mother, I'm your father, you got da 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 da. Because I don't do that to my own kids. I look at my daughters as people, not I'm your father and you're my daughter. No, my daughters have a voice, and that's the most important thing to remember. And that's what this card game helps you do. It gives you a voice, or gives your daughter a voice, so you can all be on the equal playing field that you deserve. You said great analogy. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, therapy in a box, 1000%. Get your card game, get your card game, get your card game. It's therapy in a box. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, I like that analogy.
the next 48 hours, expect desperate attempts to find a face-saving exit. The administration will try to claim that any negotiations were always part of the plan. They will try to redefine victory. They will try to spin withdrawal as strategic repositioning. But here is what counts.
And this was crazy. He's already doing it. Donald Trump's stupid ass is literally already running around saying, hey, we won. We already won. So we're already ready to pull out. Pause. Remember, I don't know if y'all heard me the other day, and I also said it on Sean Atwood's show. I said in 6 days, and it's been 3 days already. So in 3 more days or less, Donald Trump's stupid dumb ass is going to come to the podium and say, hey, I have amazing news. We have a new deal with Iran, and it is the greatest deal you ever seen in your life. I make the greatest deals. And when you see this deal, you're going to think the same way. It is the greatest, the most wonderful deal that I have ever saw. And it is because how smart we are and how mighty we are. We put our foots on their necks and we got this deal done. And it's all going to be a damn lie. It's all going to be a lie. Because Trump is an idiot.
Cannot be undone.
Pete Hegseth is an idiot. Oh, I got some shit on Pete also. Let me show y'all something about Pete Hegseth. And this is the reason why we are in this bullshit ass situation anyway. Watch this.
Who replaced him? Who is?
So watch this real quick. These are Donald Trump's primary advisors. Watch this.
When Jeffrey Epstein died, who replaced him? Who is Jared Kushner? And why is he involved in Ukrainian peace negotiations? Why is he an envoy to Israel on behalf of Trump? And why is he participating in the Iranian peace negotiations?
Because he's a reincarnation of Epstein. And this is the reason, this is the reason why Donald Trump is still worried about the Epstein files that has not yet to come out and all the redactions that they did. Because this man right here is a reincarnation of Jeffrey Epstein.
And Jared Kushner are envoys who went to Ukraine to negotiate with Putin to end the
Pete Hegseth and Jared Kushner, these man
war. They met with Zelensky to end the war. They are very close with Netanyahu. And then they represented Trump in peace negotiations with the Iranians. Who are these people? Jared Kushner is a replacement for Jeffrey Epstein. And that all makes sense if you think about it that way. And so what are these guys trying to do? They're trying to fulfill eschatology. They're trying to position world events in a certain way that would accelerate the collapse of the world, which is what Jeffrey Epstein did. Remember, we only have at most 50% of his emails. It's possibly, it could be 2% of his emails.
That's the Secretary of War right now.
Watch Tucker Carlson realize why the Zionist lobby, led by Norm Coleman of the Republican Jewish Coalition, pressured Trump to install Pete Hegseth as U.S. Secretary of War.
What is going
on? Pete Hegseth, he's an idiot also, but he's more than an idiot. He's I have to be careful. He's an IHOP. He's an IHOPian. I'll just say that. Pete Hegseth is an IHOPian. I just got to be careful with the words I use.
Install Pete Hegseth as U.S. Secretary of War.
What is going on here? It's enough to make the hair on your arms go up. Did everyone know there was an effort to rebuild the third temple and the foundation stone except me? This is considered so esoteric and weird and crypto-historical and religious and kind of culty and what's Chabad and that no one ever mentions it. But here's Pete Hegseth, football player from Princeton, going on about it in a way that suggests he thought a lot about it. This is 2018.
And it got me thinking about another miracle that I hope all of you don't see too far away.
Listen what he's about to say.
Because 1917 was a miracle. 1948 was a miracle.
This is Pete Hegseth.
1967 was a miracle. 2017, the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle. And there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible. I don't know how it would happen. You don't know how it would happen, but I know that it could happen.
That's the Secretary of War right now, overseeing the war with Iran that people fighting it are starting to say actually is about rebuilding this third temple. It's the same man.
This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking about.
Force the United States to the negotiating table by surviving the initial assault and then making demands backed by credible threats. When a regional power can do that to a global superpower, the balance has shifted. When that shift happens publicly, with the whole world watching, there is no going back to
everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Happening right now that nobody in Washington wants to.
Hold on, let me make sure y'all heard the last thing she said.
To the old arrangement. This is history happening.
Oh, she said there's no going back to the old arrangement.
By surviving the initial assault and then making demands backed by credible threats. When a regional power can do that to a global superpower, the balance has shifted. When that shift happens publicly, with the whole world watching, there is no going back to the old arrangement. This is history happening in real time. The decisions made in the next 72 hours will define American foreign policy for the next decade.
There is a negotiation happening right now that nobody in Washington wants to talk about publicly. What is happening now, quietly, through back channels, through intermediaries in Gulf capitals, is a conversation about something far more consequential than any nuclear deal. It is a conversation.
Before we get into this, I gotta play this. And trigger warning. Some of y'all already know about this, but I still had to say trigger warning before I play this. But check this out.
Military investigation. They have determined that the U.S. is responsible.
Hold on, y'all. It's messing up. All right, check this out. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
According to an ongoing U.S. military investigation, they have determined that the U.S. is responsible for the Tomahawk missile strike on the Iranian girls' elementary school inside of the city of Manab, and apparently it was a result of a targeting mistake. Just about a couple of blocks over was actually an IRGC naval headquarters building somewhere within that area, and it appears that missile actually had its GPS coordinates misinput or something along those lines, and actually ended up slamming into the girls' school close nearby and killing about 175 people, mostly children. Somewhere within the Strait.
Y'all hear that shit? And I posted a video on Instagram about this. And a lot of people were like, well, he didn't do that, or he made a mistake. I make a mistake by spilling some water. I make a mistake and stub my toe against the side of the bed. Making a mistake by unaliving 172 children and blowing up a school cannot just be excused by, oh, my bad. So I need y'all to just think about this one more time. I just got to play this again, because I want y'all to understand this.
According to an ongoing U.S. military investigation, they have determined that the U.S. is responsible for the Tomahawk missile strike on the Iranian girls' elementary school inside of the city of Manab, and it
a freaking elementary school, bro. And nobody cares. Nobody cares about this. A damn elementary school, and nobody gives a damn because it's in another country. It's them and not us.
Apparently it was a result of a targeting mistake. Just about a couple of blocks over was actually an IRGC naval headquarters building somewhere within that area, and it appears that that missile actually had its GPS coordinates misinput or something along those lines, and it actually ended up slamming into the girls' school close nearby and killing about 175 people, mostly children. So
but you got Trump, stupid ass, which I'm about to show y'all. He's like, yeah, we won. Yeah, we're almost winning. Yeah. But then when somebody asks him about the school, oh, I don't know anything about that. Oh, you don't know anything about that? You don't even have enough leadership within your bones to be able to say that it was us. We made a grave mistake. And let's take a moment to pray for those innocent children that are no longer here. You can't even do that, Donald Trump. You can't even be a man and say, yes, we made a mistake. You want to turn around and I don't know about that. I don't know what happened. Don't nobody tell me. I don't. Are you serious? Let's keep listening.
Somewhere within the Strait of Hormuz. And I like how this person said about 12 miles of this massive body of water. But let me put it into a way that
he's about to talk about the mines, the water mines that are in the Strait of Hormuz that is causing ships that are transporting all the oil that everybody needs, the world needs, not just America, the world needs. And they dropped a bunch, Iranians dropped a bunch of mines in the Strait of Hormuz in order to keep everybody from going through it. Because of this war, the entire world cannot get oil except for China, because China, they still getting their oil. The entire world, except for China, does not have oil, or they're running out of their amount of oil that they had stockpiled. All because of Donald Trump stupid ass.
Would make more sense for everyone. The Strait of Hormuz is a room that is pitch black, and somewhere in that room are people who are wearing bodysuits that are solid black, and in each of their hands is a pistol.
Somebody said, we don't need nobody's oil. What is wrong with you? I literally said the entire world, say world, the entire world, except for China, cannot get oil. World. So if America has a stockpile of oil, the rest of the world doesn't. But you don't give a damn about the rest of the world, right? This is the problem. Let me keep going.
If you get anywhere in this room while you're walking through and you have no clue where these dozen guys are, but they're all somewhere within the room just standing there. But if you get within arm's distance of one of these guys, they're going to extend their arm out and fire the pistol straight at you, killing you instantly.
What he's saying is the Strait of Hormuz, because of these mines, he's trying to give you a different type of illustration. Imagine going into a room and it's pitch black. And there's 12 dudes in there that if you touch them, they'll shoot you and you can't even see them. That's what he's trying to say.
Walk through that room to try and get to the other side. And most everyone's going to say, hell no, that sounds stupid. I wouldn't risk my life like that. And that's what every single person right now on all of these ships are saying. Because if you ever end up getting hit, it's basically an instant death, especially for the ship. The ship will be lost no matter what. The mines usually are large enough that they will completely break the back of the ship or the keel, and that means that the vessel has been completely lost at that point. It's a wash. And then you have to basically abandon ship and pray to God that someone can come and save you without them also being attacked by the Iranians as well. So generally, when you put it like that, nobody's going to be going through the Strait of Hormuz because, 12 mines in a 30-mile stretch of water, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you end up getting it wrong, you're going to probably end up dead.
All because of Trump, dumbass. All because of Pete Hegseth, dumbass. Shit is crazy, man. All right, let's keep going.
The United States military is going to leave the Middle East, not temporarily, permanently. Iran's condition for any...
All right, so here are the conditions that Iran is offering or demanding.
Channels, through intermediaries and Gulf capitals, is a conversation about something far more consequential than any nuclear deal. It is a conversation about whether the United States military is going to leave the Middle East, not temporarily, permanently. Iran's condition for any ceasefire, stated clearly and without ambiguity by its foreign minister Abbas Araghchi, repeated by Iranian officials across multiple channels, is that the United States must withdraw its military bases from the region, all of them. The bases in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the entire military infrastructure that America has spent 70 years building, the forward deployment posture that underlies the security guarantee Washington has offered its Gulf partners for 3 generations.
Right there, the security guarantee. See, America has always been a superpower. And one of the reasons why we've always been in the Gulf and always been in the Middle East, because they looked at us as security. We have bases in all of these countries because of security. We are here to protect you from them, whoever them is. But the problem is, it's all been a lie. to a certain degree, America has operated like the mafia. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of a person having a donut shop or a store, and then somebody comes in and robs the store, right? And you're like, oh my God, they just robbed us. And here comes a mob member that says, hey, if you pay us a certain amount of money every week, we'll protect you. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard this scenario in any of these mob movies. We'll protect you. So as long as you're paying us, nobody's ever going to come in and rob you again because we'll deal with them. And then you're paying them a lot of money a week, and you realize that the person that was robbing you in the first place was somebody from the mob. So they robbed me, and then the person that is in the same group comes in and says, hey, pay me some money so the person that works with me won't rob you. It's extortion. And you like, what just happened? And then if you don't pay the mob, they're going to burn your damn donut shop down. That's literally what America has been doing to all of these Middle East countries for the last 15 damn years. Yeah, double dip. Yeah. So they rob you, and then they get paid from you worried about getting robbed again. That's the double dip. So America has literally been operating as the mafia in the Middle East. And Iran said, I'm tired of this shit. Y'all ain't got no balls. Y'all ain't got no weapons. Y'all don't want no smoke. And that's literally what's going on. So not only does Iran want them to get the hell out of the Middle East wants them to get the hell out of the Middle East because y'all can't protect nobody from nothing. That's literally what's going on. So there was a security part or a security aspect of America being in the Middle East, trying to tell everybody what to do with their own shit.
All of them. The bases in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the entire military infrastructure that America has spent 70 years building, the forward deployment posture that underlies the security guarantee Washington has offered its Gulf partners for 3 generations. Iran wants it gone. And the startling development of the last 48 hours is that American officials, according to reporting from Russian media and confirmed through separate diplomatic sources, are actually discussing it. 2 parallel conversations are reportedly underway. One involves a temporary withdrawal. American forces leave on a defined timeline, months rather than years, giving Washington political cover to call it a strategic repositioning rather than a retreat. The second conversation is more severe, a permanent exit with a formal timeline, a deadline, and a guarantee backed by a third-party guarantor, reportedly Russia, that Iran would accept a ceasefire in exchange.
Russia. Hold on, y'all. I got to back up. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just gonna let it play.
A full American military departure from the Middle East, negotiated under fire after 13 days of a war that was supposed to last 4 to 6 weeks and produce regime change in Tehran. To understand why this conversation is even happening, why a United States administration that launched the most ambitious military operation since 2003 is now apparently discussing the terms of its exit, you need to understand what has happened to American military capacity in 13 days of combat that the Pentagon's own vice chiefs of staff admitted they cannot fully account for.
They can't even account for it. They don't even know what the hell is going on with their own shit. It's so many, like with the school. When they blew up the damn school, they like, what happened? I don't know. Who did it? I don't know. Ask Donald Trump. What happened with the school? Y'all blew it up. I don't know about that. Like, this is an example of how stupid, inept, dysfunctional, and problematic our American military actually is. See, it took us to go to war with somebody to show that somebody that we ain't shit. We can't do nothing. Y'all have no idea how many tankers are literally on fire right now in the Strait of Hormuz. Because an oil tanker stays on fire for like 2 days. Like you can't just, it's oil. So it's just on fire. It's tankers on fire from yesterday or from 2 days ago, still on fire. All because of America.
On the morning of February 28th, the United States went to war with a set of assumptions. Iran's military would be rapidly degraded by overwhelming American air power. Iran's population would rise against the government following Khamenei's death. The Strait of Hormuz would remain open because no rational adversary would simultaneously fight the U.S. military and blockade global oil supply. And America's...
See, right there. It's the assumption, hey, if we do this, there's nowhere in this world they're going to try to fight us back. They're not crazy. You killed the man's daddy. He is crazy. You kill somebody's dad and you think he's not going to be out for blood? Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Missile defense systems, the Patriot batteries, the THAAD interceptors, the shipborne SM-3 and SM-6 missiles would protect American forces and allied capitals from Iran.
Yeah, he was their pope, but he was also somebody's dad too.
Iranian retaliation effectively enough to keep the conflict one-sided. Every assumption has been stress-tested. Most have failed. But
see, the thing about it is, Iran has been preparing for this war for 20 years. They were watching when we invaded Iraq. They were watching when Obama bombed Syria. They were watching through this whole time. So they've been preparing for this. They watched game film on us, just like a football team would.
The shipborne SM-3 and SM-6 missiles would protect American forces and allied capitals from Iranian retaliation effectively enough to keep the conflict one-sided. Every assumption has been stress-tested. Most have failed. But the one that is now generating the most urgent behind-the-scenes alarm, more urgent than the Hormuz closure, more urgent than the oil price, more urgent than the political fallout from the Minab school bombing, is the interceptor crisis. In the first 5 days of Operation Epic Fury, the United States fired more than 800 Patriot anti-ballistic missile interceptors. 800 in 5 days. Defense analysts...
805 days. And they didn't do nothing. And what's crazy is, for those who don't know, our interceptor missiles are like $1.5 to $2 million a piece. And they were interceptor missiles. So they're just there to intercept Iran's missiles, right? But two things that Iran was prepared for is that, one, they were shooting out drones that were $20,000 a piece. So, and this is old machinery. They haven't even started using their new technology yet. So they've been shooting old technology and $20,000 technology through this whole time. And our stupid asses have been shooting out $1.5 million worth of interceptor missiles in order to shoot down a $20,000 drone. And then they turned around and started shooting cluster missiles, where the missile would be coming through like this, and then the cluster will open up, and next thing you know, it'll be 20 of them coming down, just blowing up shit. And you can't intercept 20 damn missiles. The shit has been an embarrassment.
Analysts confirmed that figure exceeds the total number of Patriot interceptors fired during the entire 3-year Russia-Ukraine war combined. Each PAS-3 MSE interceptor, the most capable version, the one used against Iran's most sophisticated ballistic missiles, costs $3.9 million per shot. 800 of them represents approximately $2.4 to $3 billion spent in 5 days purely on defense, not on airstrikes, not on offensive operations, on shooting down the missiles coming the other way, and the factories that build replacements cannot keep up.
They can't keep up. You're not even blowing nothing up. You're just stopping somebody from blowing your shit up. Billions of dollars spent already, and they weren't even intercepting efficiently enough.
Manufacture enough interceptors to replace what was consumed in those 5 days. At Lockheed Martin's current production rate would take 15 and a half months. The Pentagon has already signed contracts to triple Patriot production to 2,000 per year, but that target will not be reached for several years. The stockpiles exist now. The stockpiles will not exist at that consumption rate in several.
No, we have plenty more bombs. We have plenty more missiles. We don't have plenty more money. See, I'm going to talk about in another video that I got a video dropping actually at 9 o'clock. I might schedule it for 8:30. But I have a video coming out right after this video is over where I'm going to talk about the economics of the missiles and how, like, yeah. So I understand what y'all are talking about. America has more missiles. I'm not saying we're out of missiles. We're running out of money. And thank you so much for the super sticker, Tamara. And Tamara, again, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you.
More weeks of this war. When U.S. Army and Air Force vice chiefs testified before the Senate Armed Services Subcommittee this week and were asked directly about the status of munitions stockpiles, the answer from General Christopher Leneve was not reassuring. He said the military does not currently have a good estimate of what is being burned. The most powerful military in history.
You don't know how much was being burned. You don't know how many missiles were fired. You don't know how many more missiles you have in your backstock. You don't know how much money was spent already. You don't know what's left in our inventory. You don't know. Going back to the school that got blown up. You don't know who blew up the school. You don't know why the school got blew up. What do these son of bitches actually do know? What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? You don't know how many more missiles we have?
This week, and were asked directly about the status of munitions stockpiles. The answer from General Christopher Leneve was not reassuring. He said the military does not currently have a good estimate of what is being burned. The most powerful military in history, fighting a war it launched 13 days ago, does not have a reliable real-time accounting of how many of its most critical defensive missiles remain. Iran's parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bagher Khalibaf said this week that Iran will continue to deliver blows until the United States is, in his exact words, driven to beg for a ceasefire. Looking at the interceptor mathematics, he may not be wrong. Iran's foreign minister Araghchi posted on social media this week words that no American official has publicly answered. He wrote, "Plan A for a clean, rapid military victory has failed. Your Plan B will be an even bigger failure." He's not wrong about Plan A. Plan A was the CIA and Mossad blueprint that assumed the killing of Khamenei would trigger political collapse inside Iran, that the population would rise.
Which was absolutely stupid.
That the military would fracture, that the IRGC would lose cohesion, and that a new government would emerge within weeks, prepared to negotiate on Western terms. 13 days later, Mojtaba Khamenei is the supreme leader. The IRGC has pledged total loyalty to him, Iran has struck targets across 9 countries, and the interceptor stockpile the U.S. needs to defend its own bases is burning at a rate that cannot be sustained. There are not enough short-range air defense systems to intercept every drone cheaply. The expensive interceptors are being used. The stockpiles are going down. This is not speculation. This is the math that Pentagon analysts presented to the Trump administration before the war started, and that Trump was reportedly told by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff would leave America badly exposed. The chairman was removed. The war started anyway. And now the math.
They fired the chairman for warning them that this whole situation is stupid and asinine. Can you imagine getting fired for being right? You get fired from your like $200,000 a year job for doing your job correctly. What in the hell? You do your job correctly and you get fired specifically because you're doing your job correctly.
This is playing out exactly as predicted in real time, with consequences that are forcing conversations that would have seemed unthinkable on February 27th. The Gulf states are already drawing their own conclusions. Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the UAE, every Gulf government that houses American military infrastructure asked the United States.
So is it Tamara or Tamara? I think Tamara with the little apostrophe over the A. Was it? Doesn't that make the A Tamara? Or let me know.
United States not to launch this war from their territory. They refused to join the offensive campaign. They are now absorbing Iranian missile strikes on their energy infrastructure, their ports, their desalination plants.
Oh, hold on. I don't think y'all caught that. This is important.
The chairman was removed. The war started anyway. And now the math is playing out exactly as predicted in real time, with consequences.
So listen to this part right here.
That are forcing conversations that would have seemed unthinkable on February 27th. The Gulf states are already drawing their own conclusions. Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the UAE, every Gulf government that houses American military infrastructure asked the United States not to launch this war from their territory.
So right there, remember, the whole conversation right now is the United States needs to get their shit and get out, right? Tamara or Tamra? So is it Tamra or Tamara or Tamara? Like, okay, whatever. So Dubai and all of them are like, we don't want you here. Get your shit and get out because you let us down. Dubai literally was getting bombed. And Dubai is like, yo, why are we getting bombed? We don't even have crime here. Well, come to find out, Dubai was protected by the United States because they have a military function there. And they're getting bombed left and right. So they're just like, yo, there's no use for you to be here anymore. You can't protect us.
They refused to join the offensive campaign. They are now absorbing Iranian missile strikes on their energy infrastructure, their ports, their desalination plants, and their civilian population.
So these countries that are on the side of America is getting bullied and getting their ships blown up simply because America is full of idiots. Well, the military, American military is full of idiots. Like everybody's getting their oil tankers, like I said, they're literally like presently just on fire. And all this is because of America.
Populations. Not because they chose this war, but because they host the American bases that made them targets. Their patience is not unlimited, and their calculation about who to align.
Okay, so hold on, we got it. It's Tamara. That's what I said. I said Tamara. I said Tamara. I said thank you, Tamara. Or did I say Tamara? I thought I said Tamara. Okay, got it.
With in a post-war Middle East is already shifting. Saudi journalist and analyst Faisal Abbas noted this week that what is happening in the Gulf will not stay in the Gulf. The food crisis, the energy crisis, the regional destabilization, it will spread globally. And when Gulf governments look at the strategic landscape after the shooting stops, whenever that is, they will see an America that promised to protect their shipping and could not escort a single tanker through Hormuz.
See right there. America's job is to protect these other countries from the other countries. And right here, America, remember, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. American ships were in charge of going with each ship to make sure that Iran does not blow it up. Well, Iran will blow up anything that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, I told you, not only will they blow something up with missiles, they'll blow something up with drone ships. And also, they put 12 different water mines in the water. So what point does America have for being in the Middle East when you can't protect us and we can't even go and sell our oil to the other country? What is the point of you being over here if you can't protect nobody? So right here is the biggest problem. You cannot protect these ships from going through the Strait of Hormuz and them being safe. Because Iran don't give a damn. They've blown up everything. It's closed.
It will spread globally. And when Gulf governments look at the strategic landscape after the shooting stops, whenever that is, they will see an America that promised to protect their shipping and could not escort a single tanker through Hormuz. And could not escort a single tanker through Hormuz. And could not escort a single tanker through Hormuz. That promised overwhelming military superiority and is running low on interceptors after 13 days. That launched a war from their territory without their consent. On the other side, they will see China, whose vessels are the only ones moving through the strait with any degree of regularity, whose diplomatic envoy was dispatched to the region within days of the war.
I told you China is the only ones that are able to get what they need. China is the only country in the world that has access to oil without any problem, without no stockpile.
Starting, and whose technology companies are not on any Iranian target list. If the United States exits the Middle East, whether by negotiated withdrawal or exhausted retreat, the security architecture that replaced American protection will not look like what preceded it. Taiwan, Japan, South Korea.
Okay, tomorrow. Like tomorrow. Got it. Tomorrow. Gotcha. Okay. Like tomorrow.
And every other country whose security depends on the credibility of the American security guarantee will watch what happens in the Middle East in the coming weeks and draw their own conclusions about the reliability of that guarantee. Because America's military credibility is not divisible by geography. If the world watches the United States negotiate the withdrawal of its Middle East bases under fire from a country it attacked 13 days ago, if that is the outcome of Operation Epic Fury, the question that every American ally in every region will ask.
It's actually called Operation Epic Fail. Operation Epic Fail, not Operation Epic Fury.
Ask is the same question. If they did it here, what does that mean for us? Here.
I know, right? We're just gonna call it T because I give up. I get it.
It's what the world looks like the day America announces it is withdrawing from the Middle East, not the day after, not a year later, the day of the announcement. Oil markets go into shock, not because of supply disruption, which is already priced in, but because the security architecture that has guaranteed Gulf energy exports since the 1970s has just been formally dissolved. Every long-term oil supply contract between Gulf producers and Asian, European, and American buyers was written on the assumption that the U.S. Fifth Fleet would be stationed in Bahrain permanently.
That's it right there. All of these conversations, all of these negotiations was contingent on the United States being in the Middle East in order to protect one country from the other, because they get to fighting over there and they need somebody to protect them. But now Iran has shown that America is inept and can't protect nobody. So they all are going to literally kick America out of the Middle East. No ships, no tanks, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this shit is sad. It is sad. It is pathetic.
An Iran that fought the United States to a negotiated withdrawal is an Iran whose influence across Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, Syria, and Gaza becomes effectively impossible to contain through conventional diplomatic pressure. Yemen is watching all of this. The Houthis, who have formally declared they have their hands on the trigger, have held back from formally entering the war. Iran said this week it is prepared to sustain this conflict for as long as necessary. Iranian officials have warned that oil prices could reach $200 per barrel if they choose.
Bruh, $200 is right now $120 per barrel. $200 per barrel. That means our prices would double. So we're playing here $380 it would double. This shit is crazy. And here's Donald Dumbfuck right here. Listen to Donald Dumbfuck. That's his new name. Listen to Donald Dumbfuck.
And the answer will define the next 50 years of the global order.
12 days after launching a war with Iran, President Trump today claimed victory.
Claimed a victory.
We've won. Let me say, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet in the.
Now remember, he blew up a school, and he's joyful about what's going on in the war. After blowing up a school, an elementary school full of children. And he's like, hey, we won. So one, he's lying because he didn't win. He's losing. And then two, he's a little bit too happy after blowing up a school full of children.
First hour it was over. We did an excursion. You know what an excursion is? We had to take a little.
Did you blow up a school full of children? Yes? No?
Trip to get rid of some evil, very evil people. They're very strong. You know, they're going to try and take over the whole Middle East.
That was the president this afternoon. And tonight, there are scenes like this unfolding in the Middle East. Oil tankers.
So these are the oil tankers that are just on fire randomly because of Donald Trump's stupid dumb ass, a.k.a. Donald Dumbfuck.
Tankers exploding into huge fireballs in the night sky as Iran claims that it blew up the tankers using an underwater drone. You can see the flames in the water surrounding the tankers. That's likely the result of an oil spill. And we know tonight as we come on the air, at least one crew member is dead and dozens more had to be rescued because of this scene. In the Strait of Hormuz, it has now become a battlefield of its own making, with at least 3 ships coming under attack just today alone. And as we've been reporting, this strait is incredibly important because it connects the Persian Gulf and its oil to the rest of the world. About 20%.
To the rest of the world, y'all. Like, it's a bloodbath in the damn Strait of Hormuz. This shit is crazy. All because of Donald Dumbfuck.
Of the global oil supply actually passes through that stretch of water that you can see there. Iran is actually getting more oil onto tankers now than it was even before this war started. That's according to research analysts that track crude oil. And while the rest of the world's oil is stuck on tankers, essentially they're being held hostage in the Gulf. President Trump said this today about this battle on the high seas.
We knocked out their Navy, okay? Let's put it that way. But they also knocked out the mine layers. They call them mine layers. They put mines in the water. They'll all be gone. By the time I'm finished speaking, they'll be gone.
For the rest of the world, this is what shipping traffic has looked like over the last 3 days. All those dots that you see there are ships waiting on either side of the strait, unable or...
So this is the Strait of Hormuz, and all the dots are the ships.
unwilling, in many cases, to sail into the clear danger there. Normally, more than 60 ships a day would be crisscrossing your screen. And if you've been filling up your gas tank this week, you know how that traffic jam that you see there is driving up prices here in the United States. That led the president today to highlight the largest ever release of strategic oil reserves earlier, including the release of 172 million barrels from the American reserves.
I'm pleased to report that earlier today, the International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world, which will substantially...
But what about the school full of children that are dead? What about that? Because you're just a little too happy about this. Because what about this, Donald?
Military investigation, they've determined that the U.S. is responsible for the Tomahawk missile strike on the Iranian girls' elementary school inside of the city of Manab, and it apparently was a result of a targeting mistake. Just about a couple of blocks over was actually an IRGC naval headquarters building somewhere within that area, and it appears that that missile actually had its GPS coordinates misinput or something along those lines, and it actually ended up slamming into the girls' school close nearby and killing about 175 people, mostly children.
So while you're sitting up there all excited and joyful, what about the school, Donald Dumbfuck?
National Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world, which will substantially reduce the oil prices as we end this threat to America and this threat to the world.
And as all of this is continuing, we are hearing from sources tonight that the Pentagon told Congress in a private briefing that the preliminary cost of the Iran war was at least $11 billion over the first 6 days. $11 billion over the first 6 days.
And we're in day 13. We're in day 13. So I got a show that I have scheduled is 8:30. Let me schedule for 8:40. So y'all can catch it. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna schedule the show. I'm gonna change the date, the time. Let's see, 8:40. All right, 8:45. Boom. Done. And save. Okay, so I want y'all to check out this video right here. So everybody right now, go to this video right here. Hold on, let me write something in it. Watch this video. Okay. So I need everybody in here to go watch this video that, what did I just do? Okay. So I just dropped the link in the chat. I need everybody's about 300 people watching. I need everybody to go watch that video and get in the chat, and I'll meet you over there. Okay. So everybody click the link that I just dropped in the chat and go check that video out, because that one is going to give you a good explanation on everything going on in a precise manner. So click the link that's in the chat. Click the link that is in the chat. I'm going to pin it at the top. So I'm going to play some like button songs, and make sure to click the link and go in that chat and say something in that chat. Tell me that you're here in that chat. Go in the chat, spam the chat, drop popcorn emojis in that chat. Click the link and go drop popcorn emojis in that chat. And we're going to go over here. Over here, we're going to play some like button songs. Well, first, let's play the car game song, and then we'll play some like button songs.
New way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
And make sure to go in that chat, drop popcorn emojis, spam the chat, say whatever, say what's up in the chat, in the other chat that I just dropped in the link. That video is going to start in 10 minutes.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for the clues. Hit the like button if you part of the crew. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for the clues. Hit the like button if you part of the crew. Yeah, black or white, red or blue. We all stuck together like gorilla super glue. Yo, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for the clues. Hit the like button if you part of the crew. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button, button. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button, and tell me where you from. Hit the like button if you part of the crew. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for the glue. like red dog blow. We all stuck together like gorilla super glow. Oh.
All right, I'm about to play the like button song. Where is that? Where's that? Here it is.
Everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. Wet. Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat.
Oh yeah, Yoda is getting down. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all over at the next video. Jump in the chat, say what's up. Jump in the chat, drop popcorn emojis in that chat over there. The link is in the chat. Here it is right here, just in case y'all don't see it. It's still 200 people over here. Go over there. Go. Hit the link. This show is over. Hit the link. Go over in the chat. I'm about to go in the chat and talk with y'all over there. So everybody, go over there. Click the link. It says, watch this video ASAP. Click the link. Go over there. I'll see y'all over there. Come on, go. Hello. Go click the link that is in the chat and go over there.